The pickleball backhand can be a formidable weapon, but for most of us, our backhand is weaker than our forehand. So how do you transform your backhand into something that your opponents will fear? I've got some techniques and tips to help you do just that. Hey everybody, my name is CJ Johnson, and together with my partner Tony Roy, we are Better Pickleball, and we're dedicated to helping you live your best lives on and off the pickleball courts. So for most players, the backhand side is the weaker side. And because it's the weaker side, we don't generate a lot of power, consistency, or accuracy. Now, if you don't fix this side, if you don't make your backhand better, you are susceptible to attacks from your opponents. So they're going to attack your weaker side. And whenever anything comes to this side, your team's going to be more vulnerable because you don't have the power and the consistency. So let's start working on that backhand side so that you can turn it into a bit more of a weapon. The very first thing we need to look at when we're talking about backhands is your grip. Does your grip allow you to bring the paddle to a position that is going to create accuracy, consistency, and power? So what we recommend for a pickleball grip is what's called a continental grip. Now let me show you, I'm going to take my hand off here. A continental grip, the way you want to think about it is like as if I'm shaking hands. It's a very neutral grip. Now when I put my hand on the paddle, one of the things that you'll notice here is you'll notice this V is somewhat to the side of my paddle. Again, if I took the paddle out of my hands, it looks like I'm shaking hands. So a continental grip is a very universal grip for pickleball. It allows me to easily move the paddle from one side to the other side in an optimal position. Some players may come from tennis or another sport and they bring a different grip with them. Now, particularly in tennis, you may have like an Eastern forehand grip, Eastern or Western forehand grip, but the paddle on the forehand is more in the palm of the hand, so the hand is rotated down. On the forehand, that definitely gives you more power, but on the backhand side, it's problematic. It does not allow you to put the paddle in an optimal position to generate consistency and power. So if that's a grip that you use, be aware of that and just know that you're either going to have to change that grip or maybe use a two-handed backhand or make some type of adjustment when you go to the backhand side. If you don't have that grip, if you're not playing pickleball with a grip that you brought with you from another sport, my suggestion would be to begin to use the continental grip, which will make it easier to get the paddle in an optimal position, not just on your backhand side, but on your forehand side as well. The next mistake I see is players who don't watch the ball all the way into the paddle. That's a very common error, and it seems to happen more on the backhand side than it does on the forehand side. So on the forehand side, whether I'm a right-handed player, it just seems much more natural for me to tilt my head down in this direction, or if I'm a left-hand player, to tilt my head down in this direction. On the backhand side, I want to make sure that when I bring the paddle down to where I think the ball is going to be, that I'm watching the ball and that I'm watching the ball all the way into the paddle. So many times what I see is a player brings it here, they're tracking the ball, so it's about 3 or 4 feet out in front of me. They're tracking the ball into their paddle, and then their eyes stop here. Their eyes stop about 2 or 3 feet short of the paddle. Now, you cannot see the ball hit the paddle. The pickleball is just traveling too fast to do that. But what you want to try to concentrate on, a good tip is the holes on the ball. Watch the holes of the ball all the way. Try to watch the holes of the ball all the way to the paddle. So be very cognizant of watching the ball make contact with the paddle. So that's the third mistake I see, is I see players who take the paddle so far behind them that they cannot make contact with their backhand out in front of their body. And it has the same consequence on both the backhand side as well as the forehand side. If I'm looking to get optimal accuracy as well as the most amount of power, I need to contact the ball out in front of my body. I can do that more easily by avoiding excessive backswing. I may need to take it back just a little bit, and that's okay. I don't want to take this excessive backswing behind me. That inhibits me from making contact out in front. So shorter backswing will help you to make the contact out in front. Follow these tips and techniques and your backhand will be better in no time. Now, if you'd like to know more about the backhand, maybe even a backhand serve, go ahead and click the link to this video. If you like the backhand, give it a thumbs up in the comments down below, because together we can train smart, live bold, and age well.